In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create a theme toggler button with Bootstrap, JavaScript, and local storage that will save the theme. So right now the theme is dark. When I reload the page, it's still going to stay dark. And even if we close the page and reopen it, we can see that the theme changes and the theme is applied to everything. So the navbar is going to be dark, the modal is going to be dark, and even the alerts. And now when we change the theme to light, we can see that everything went back to light mode. And if you don't have the Bootstrap link, so the script and then the CSS, what you're going to want to do is go to getbootstrap.com, scroll down until you find this section, copy the first link, put it in the header and the second one in the body, and now we can get started. So we're going to start by creating a container. So let's create a div with a class of container. I'm going to open it and we're going to add some more classes. So it's going to have a border. So let's add a class of border. The border radius is going to be rounded. The text align, let's set this to center. And let's add some more padding. So let's set the padding to 4. Now let's create an H1 inside of it. And I'm going to set the text to Bootstrap themes. And then under it, let's just create an HR. Now we're going to create a basic paragraph. So I'm just going to generate some random text. Let's do lorem 50. And under it now we're going to create the button itself. So button, I'm going to just add the most basic classes. So button primary. And the text, let's set it to theme toggler. And you can set this to whatever you want. We're going to capitalize the first letters. Now let's open it and see what it looks like. So it doesn't look too bad, but it can look a lot better. Let's make the container a lot smaller. So we're going to set the style here. And then the max width is going to be set to, let's just do 400 pixels. That looks good enough. And now what we're going to do is add an ID to our button so that we can select it from our JavaScript file. And I'm going to just set this to theme toggler, and you can also add button, but I'll just set it to this. And now what we're going to do is create a JavaScript file. I'm just going to call it main.js. You can call it whatever you want. And before we start writing code here, we're going to go to our header and add the JavaScript file. So script source, I'm going to set it to this, and make sure you add a defer. Now we can go to our JavaScript file and start coding. And the way that we're going to save everything and the way that it's going to work is by using local storage. So if you want to learn how to use it, then click on the link at the top right. But if you already know it, then we can get started. So let's start by creating an object, which is going to be the theme toggler btn, and then we're going to set this to document.querySelector. And then here we're going to put the ID of the button that will toggle the theme, and you can use another selector, so you can use the get by ID, but I prefer the query selector. Now we're going to create another object, which is going to be the HTML, and you'll see why later. So I'm just going to call it HTML tag, and this is going to be set to document.querySelector, and then here we're just going to write HTML. Now let's add an event listener to the button. So theme toggler btn dot add event listener. It's going to be on click, and now we're going to add a function. So you can either create a function like this, which is going to be the usual way, or if you want to, you can create an arrow function, which is going to do the same thing. And I'll just keep it at this right now. So now we're going to create an if statement, which is going to be checking if we have a local storage item. So local storage dot get item, and then we're gonna write theme. So let's actually add this line right here. So if it's not gonna find an item, which is gonna be called theme in the local storage, that means that the theme is going to be light. So then what we're gonna do here is set the theme to dark, but we also have to add another one. So it's either this, or actually we'll have to do this. So either this or local storage dot get item. So this one's going to be in case we have an item theme, and then it's going to be set to light. I'm going to go over this again when we're done so that you know what's happening here. And now we can write a now statement here. And inside of it now, what we're going to do is write local storage dot set item. So set item, we're going to do theme, and we're going to set this to dark. Let's copy this, paste it in the else statement, and then here we're going to just change this to light. And now let's make sure that it works. So let's go here, and now we're going to open the developer console. So right click, click on inspect, and now here we're going to find application, click on it. Now here we're going to scroll down to storage and then find the local storage, and then it's going to be this HTTP and then the other stuff here. And now we shouldn't have anything here, so the key and the value should be empty. And now let's actually click on the button here and see what happens. So now we can see that this key appeared, and then the value is going to be dark, so that means that it works. And when we reload, we can see that it's still here, but when we click it again, we can see that it's going to change to light now. So the local storage works, but now we actually have to change the theme. And before I move on, I'm going to go over what's happening here. So in the first part of this if statement, we're checking that the local storage item theme doesn't exist, meaning that we're going to set the theme to dark when we click the button. Or if there's an item there and it's set to light, then we're going to change it to dark. And if none of these are true, then we're going to just go to this if statement or the else, and then this is going to happen and so on. So if you want to add multiple themes, then you can obviously add else if and then add more stuff here, but I'm just going to have a light and dark theme. But now we can move on. So what we're going to do is actually select our HTML tag, and then we're going to set attribute, which is going to be the data BS theme, and this attribute is set by Bootstrap, so we don't have to do anything. And then we're going to set this to dark. Now we're going to copy this and then paste it here, and then we're going to change this to light, and now it's going to work. So if we click on it, we can see that now the theme is going to be set to dark, and now it's going to be set to light. Let's actually set it back to dark, and if we reload, then we can see that it still says that it's dark here, but it's going to be set to light. And the reason for that is because we have to render the themes. So to do that, we can just copy this, paste it down here, and we're going to delete the local storage parts here because we don't need to set anything because it should already be set. And then all we have to do is just set this to dark, and now it should work. So if we go back to here and reload, we can see that now it's going to be set to dark. And if we actually change the theme, we can keep reloading. It's going to be still set to dark. And now that our themes are functioning, let's go to the Bootstrap website and add some more elements to see what they would look like. So go to the docs. Let's start by adding a navbar. So I'm going to just scroll up. Let's do the first one, copy it, go down here. We can paste it on top. And now let's see what it would look like. So this is going to be the dark theme. And let's actually add some padding, margin bottom. I'm going to just set this to 4. There we go. So this is going to be the dark theme, and this is going to be the light. Let's add 2 more. We can add a modal. Let's do this one. We can paste it under the container. So this is going to be the light theme, and then toggle theme. This is going to be the dark one, and let's add one more thing. So let's do the alerts. So over here, let's just copy all of them, and then I'll just delete them later. So go down here. And there we go. So these are going to be the alerts in dark theme, and then this is going to be them in light theme. And so this is going to be for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, then leave a like, sub to the channel for more content like this. Leave a comment down below if you have any video requests or lessons. And hopefully see you in the next video.